So recently I found these plastic turbines that I harvested from a helicopter and decided to make a pod racer. So after finding some glue sticks for the base and various caps that I cut holes into, I started to get to work. Honestly, this was perfect that I decided to go for a pod racer, so I'd make it just in time for May the 4th.
Yeah, May the 4th was like a month ago. A bit late on that.
Ah, shoot. Well, forget about that then. But I started to add some details to the side of the pod racer engine to make it look more like an engine, I guess. So I added a few tubes and plating and googly eyes. That circle was a pain to put on because anytime I let go of it, it would re-flatten out despite being glued down. I dissected a soap dispenser to get these tubes and stuck them on the side, hoping that they would look like some sort of tubing or canisters or anything of the sort. After getting all the major details down, I gave them a twirl for good luck. Now I need to make some rivets, and to do that, I'm using a stick from Bubbles. These will be stuck to the plates to add a bit more detail, like screws and bolts. And now I started work on below the turbine with some exposed machinery, because that's a good idea for a vehicle going through the sand. I mean, really, couldn't small rocks and other sand get sucked into that exposed machinery and cause problems? Or maybe it just comes out the back. I have no idea. The rest of that stick for the bubbles actually came in handy here, which is a plus. With the engines out of the way, I start work on the pod itself, where the pilot will sit. I found a piece that looked a bit like a motorcycle seat, so I'm gonna make this pod sort of motorcycle-like. I'm not sure whether this stick is used for speed control or steering, but I don't think it really matters anyway. On the sides, I'm putting a spot where a pilot could put his feet. I imagine these can also be used for speed or steering. I set up a piece on the front and decided it needed a bit of covering up, so I cut out some cardboard plates to put on the side to add more details. I actually really like how the pod turned out. I attached the tubes, and I kind of wish I did this after painting, but it's not a big deal. I started with a base coat of gunmetal gray to make it look a bit more metallic. After taking a few suggestions, I decided to go with a color scheme of scarlet and violet. Nintendo, please don't sue me. I also wanted to paint these plates like they had been painted, but had also been worn down a lot. I felt the violet wasn't quite bright enough, so I added a few more coats of it to make it pop a bit more. I think I was trying to add some sort of highlights here, like chipped away paint. Didn't quite work out. It still looks cool. I started dry brushing a bit to bring out some details and also make it look a bit more rusty. Added some more rust here because more rust is always good. Unless it's your car, because you don't want a really rusty car. Painted the engines in gunmetal gray too to make them more metallic also. I attempted to make my own chrome paint here to add highlights. It didn't quite work out, but it still looks pretty good. Pretty sick, huh? Now it just needs a base to sit on. So I don't have bricks of foam to make fancy bases, so I stacked cardboard to make a sort of layered terrain. I learned this technique on Bill Making Stuff's channel, and it came in handy. I decided to fill in the gaps a little bit with a sort of terrain paste that's pretty much just sand and paint with a bit of glue. And then some dry brushing to make the sand a bit more Tatooine colored. I started adding some foliage because I guarantee Tatooine has that. With the base covered, I just need to attach. I'm really happy with how this turned out. A few things could be changed to be a bit better, but overall, it went really well. Due to software limitations, a new video might take a while, so thanks for sticking around. I can't just say a ghost is driving it. Perfect.